attend today's webcast on learning more about Sage Enterprise Intelligence and how you can transform business data into actionable insights using the solution. A few logistical items before we get started today. Question I often get is this being recorded today? The answer is yes, I am recording today's webcast and we'll make it available to all the registrants today. I plan to send out an email on Monday, and I'll have a link to the recording or access to the recording, as well as a link to access the slides from today's presentation as well. So with me today, I've got Olivia Brown from Tangerine. She's a regional account manager, and she's going to be taking you through some introductory slides on Sage Enterprise Intelligence, giving you some background on the solution, as well as some customer perspective of some users that are actually using the solution today and some of the benefits they're already achieving, so you can see what you may be able to achieve in your business. And then she's going to turn it over to Gareth Marks, who's the regional product specialist for Sage Enterprise Intelligence, and he's actually going to open up the product and go into the product and show you in the product how easy it is to do these things. So you'll get a real-world look at how to use the solution. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Olivia to start the presentation. Olivia?
All right, thanks so much, Jeff, and thanks to everybody for joining the presentation today. We're looking forward to showing you Sage Enterprise Intelligence and some of its features and functionality. Before we get started with the demo, I'm going to go into a few PowerPoint slides just introducing you to who we are, where the solution is in the market today, and of course talk a little bit about an overview on SEI. Let me just go to the next slide here. There we go. Starting with introductions, again, talk a little bit about us, who we are, the software, of course, the business benefits, what some of our customers are saying about the product today, and then last but not least, I'll hand it over to Gareth, who will get into the product demonstration. We'll save time for questions at the end, but feel free throughout the way to type your questions into the chat box, and we will address those at the very end. Again, my name is Olivia. I'm the Regional Account Manager for Sage North America, and Gareth is the Product Specialist, and we'll be doing the demo today. So let's get right into who we are. We're Tangerine Software, a company based out of Montreal, Quebec. Unfortunately, we have some unpleasant weather coming our way for this long weekend, so I hope you're not all on the same boat. We've been in business since 1992. We're a provider of ERP software, Sage software, as well as other softwares, and BI solutions. We have over 80 employees here in Montreal, 40 consultants that are actually dedicated to Sage EM, which is Sage's mid-market ERP solution. We have over 100 Sage EM customers. And the most important fun fact on us today is that we are the author of Sage Enterprise Intelligence, formerly known as Nectari. We are sold globally by Sage and partners. It's been that way for the last almost 6 years. So we're rebranded under the Sage name, sold worldwide through Sage's different partners. We have over 1,500 customers today, so a big chunk of the market there. Getting more into the global status, just to give you some numbers here, again, over 1,500 customers, 35,000 users. The primary customer base is with the enterprise management, but we're growing extremely quickly in Sage 300, Sage 100 as well, primarily in North America, where we have 75% of the market share. We're available for Sage 100, 300, 500 EM, CRM, a couple other products that you may not have heard of over in Europe, so we obviously won't be getting into those today, but just to give you some information there. Getting into Sage Enterprise Intelligence is all about data analysis and reporting and empowering our customers to get access to their information in a way that makes sense to you, to enable you to make better decisions based on real-time information. It's all about making it easy to get access to the information and make good decisions based on accurate information, of course, as well. In terms of some of the key features, we like to emphasize the ease of use. We provide an intuitive user interface that allows you to very easily change reports, create new reports on the fly. We deliver web, mobile, and Excel interfaces, so you have the flexibility of choosing which interface you'd prefer to work with. It's very easy to learn, to deploy and administer as well, so quick to get up and running. The Excel add-in is an interesting component. So although we're fully web-based, as mentioned previously, we have an Excel interface as well that our customers use primarily for financial reporting. Gareth will show you some of that as well in the presentation. It's We have a distribution module that enables you to set up reports to be sent out automatically to any number of people within or outside of your organization for increased collaboration. We will also be delivering in our next version, and I'll get into a roadmap slide here in a second, some ETL functionality. We already have OLAP or data warehousing functionality within the software, but we will have ETL functionality as well. Multi-level security across all the different interfaces. Multi-language as well. So because we're available worldwide, we have made the software available in over 12 different languages. We also are delivering now, as of our last version, our universal data models. We'll get into that now on this slide. Essentially what it is, it's pre-built KPIs, dashboards, reports for different areas of the business that work across different ERPs. So as you can see, it's available for SageEM, 100, 300, 500, a combination of those as well. And basically, it's, again, just a very comprehensive list of KPIs that are pre-built that you can use right out of the box. We currently have one for finance, and we'll be delivering one for sales and CRM as well. You'll see them live in action very shortly in the demo. In terms of how SEI accesses information, I'd like to mention this because there's a couple ways of accessing information with the solution. The first is in real time. So up to the minute as a transaction is posted, you'll be able to see it within your report in SEI. But we also deliver the option of using a data warehouse. So essentially, if you're looking to combine information from multiple different data sources, or you have very large volumes of data and you want to improve the performance of some of your reports, you can use our OLAP technology or data cubes to run your reports and, again, consolidate that information, and your reports will be running very, very quick. So just wanted to mention that. We also, something very important to mention is that we deliver out-of-the-box templates for your ERP system. So Sage 100, 300, 500, so on and so forth. There's a very broad number of reports that come out of the box, so you're getting started from day one with something substantial that you can work with. In this slide here, we're just showing another option with SEI. So if you want to make it very comprehensive, very integrated with your ERP, which it can be, you can actually embed SEI directly in your ERP solution. We have single sign-on options so that it kind of all comes together into one common framework. Of course, you can use the software standalone as well, but we want to give you that option to work together. In terms of version 9, there's a lot of exciting things coming up with SEI. First of all, we're going to be delivering our public cloud, so the software will be fully cloud. That'll be available with version 9. Our ETL functionality, a full redesigned user interface in the web, some major improvements in the Excel as well, and our UDM, our Universal Data Model for CRM and sales, will be delivered with version 9 as well. In terms of the business benefits of the solution, usability, again, the ability to very easily access information from either a web, mobile, or an Excel interface. The seamless integration with Sage ERP, so again, focusing on those templates that have already been pre-built, not just reports, but also dashboards, data cubes, visualizations. Those are all delivered for you right out of the box. Again, it might not be 100% of what you're looking for. You might have to make some changes. You might need to create new reports from time to time, but again, going back to the ease of use, it's so easy to do that. And again, you have a very good starting point. Scalability and performance, so the ability to grow as your business grows. If you have, again, very large volumes of data, we've been working with large customers for a very long time, and they have good performance on their reports, so proven performance. Enhances collaboration with the different sharing tools that can be utilized within SEI. The security is there. Again, really, we like to focus on the fact that we're one solution providing you enterprise-wide access to your company information regardless of what data source it's coming from. If you have multiple data sources, some are outside Sage, some are other Sage solutions, we can bring all of that into SEI to give you the full insight as to what's going on. Last but not least, low total cost of ownership. It doesn't take much to get up and running with SEI. It's relatively easy, low cost, and again, the ROI is very, very quick with the solution. Just some of what our customers are saying about SEI. This is one of our very large customers over in Europe, Concentric. They have very large volumes of data, and they're using the Excel add-in to do all of their financial reports. Although they're based in Europe, they have operations really worldwide, so from Brazil to Philippines, so on and so forth. So this is their finance director, Jeremy. Sage Enterprise Intelligence makes our vast quantities of data easily and quickly accessible to our teams around the globe. Avon Rubber, also one of our international customers, again talking about the good performance that SEI provides despite their large volumes of data, and that they needed to improve decision making and identify new business opportunities, which it helps them do. Lastly, BGR, one of our American customers in Ohio. I wish SEI was available to us years ago, and that's something that's very common amongst our customers, something we hear a lot of customers say. So on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Gareth. He'll get into the product demonstration, or Jeff will pass it over to Gareth.
Thanks very much, Olivia. Just before I start, I want to make sure, can you see my screen with the login page to SEI?
We're good.
Good. Perfect. Okay, so thanks everyone again for joining the webinar today. As Jeff had introduced, I'll introduce myself again. My name is Gareth Marks, and I am a product specialist at Tangerine Software. So today, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking you through a little bit of the software and really showing you how simple it is to use the software from the start. I'm also going to show you a couple of the out-of-the-box templates that all come. Olivia had mentioned that you can start from day one. So what we've done, and we've been in collaboration with Sage for the last few years, is we've allowed the solution to be offered out of the box that, again, gives you access to data from day one, pulling that information either real-time or through a data warehouse. As Olivia mentioned, we are available in 12 different languages. So if you have operations, and what's key about this is not only is it available in multiple languages, you can actually use 2 different languages. So for example, here we have half of our guys in the office that are seeing the software in French, and exactly the same version I'm looking at in English. So very easy to use. As I log in right now, as Olivia mentioned, we do have the single sign-on capabilities right now. So if you were to pass the parameters on from your Sage 300, 500, or Sage EM, you can actually carry the security settings across. So when you look at SEI and you open up the page now, you'll see what's known as our command center, where we have multiple different out-of-the-box templates that are available to you. Everything that you see over here, from your accounts payables, receivables, finance, sales, etc., all the way down to data warehouse, is putting that information real time. Then once you go to the data warehouse, this is where you can do your incremental loads. What you're looking at now is I've opened up the Sage 300 template, because I know that we do have a lot of people from Sage 300 as well. But what I'm going to do now is I'm also going to open up the Sage EM template, so you can see that the templates are a little bit different per product line, and it will actually show you the capability because the functionality is different. And what else I'm going to do today to try and make it as simple for everyone, and remember, what I'm showing you today is the way that we retrieve the data from your ERP and we show that data to you and how you can manipulate that data. But what I'm going to be doing is, like I said, playing with the data. So if I'm showing you sales, and sales maybe doesn't appeal to you, and that isn't an area where your business currently functions, and you don't really report from a sales analysis, just remember that what I'm showing you, you can do, whether it be on your financial side, on your inventory side, on your manufacturing side, whatever the case may be. But again, it's how you use the data and show it the way that you want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get directly into the software. I'm going to open up a dashboard. Now, what a dashboard does and shows you is how we utilize the software to put together, for example, 10 different view types. They can all talk together and show you the information you want to see. So I've opened up a simple sales manager because, like I said, it's easy for everyone to understand how a sales manager works in terms of the information that they want to see. And you can see this is something standard, but I'll show you how simple and easy it is to change. Now, of course, you're looking at your sales versus cost share. You can expand and get a slightly better understanding of this, and you can play with the information. This dashboard is also completely dynamic. So, for example, here we have our top 5 product categories by sales. So that's how I want to add this to the filter. You'll see how it dynamically changes all of the results in different view types to show you the information based off of the filter that I just clicked. Of course, right now we have a different filtering panel to be able to see the different years. So for example, let's say that this isn't the way you want to see the information. You actually want to base it off of months, and you want to also add a product category in there. It's very simple and easy to change this. You can simply edit the dashboard, add in a filtering panel, and say add. And I'll say I want to add my month, and I also want to add, let's say, my product category. And you simply say OK, and right there, you would exit the dashboarding mode, and you can see the information where you can now see and base your filtering panel off of your month, for example. Now, the information I'm showing you here is more the final product of what you see that's coming directly out of your ERP, whether it be Sage 300, 500, or your Sage EN. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dive into what's known as a typical worksheet. And this is going to show you the information that allows you to kind of see the final product and shows you the way that you can manipulate and play with the data. So I'm going to go to my command center, and again, looking at all of the out-of-the-box templates, I'm going to jump to my data warehouse, which is seeing the information, like I said, through incremental loads. And I'm going to open up a typical sales by customer and product. And what you're going to see now is a worksheet based off of a few criteria. And quickly before I show you this, I just forgot to mention the different security levels. So we have 3 types of security levels within SCR. The first type of level would be the command center that you're currently seeing. So for example, if you want to set up a security that your sales team can't see your finance, that can be set up here. The next level that we see is the actual data itself. So for example, you can say that there's a sales ledger margin here. You don't want your sales reps knowing the margins that we're making on the product, so we can take that off and they won't be able to see that. So again, you can set this up per user and pull that information across. And then the third type is the data as to when one sales rep, for example, can only see his numbers and he can't see another sales rep's numbers. So just showing that the security levels across the board are standard. So when I look at this data now, you'll see that the data is a little bit behind here because it is my demo data, and I can see I have data in 2016 and 2017. I can simply add that to my filter, and that's all the information I'll see. Now, when you look at this report, and this is where information from the dashboards comes, it's based on my groups, pillars, and columns. So when I drill down on 2017, I can now see my customer sold to, and if I drill down on my customer sold to, I can then actually see the different product code. But let's say, for example, that you want to be able to base this off of, rather than yearly, you actually want to look at the numbers monthly. You can simply go to your dimensions and measures, type in month, and you can simply just drag and drop. And once you drag and drop this information, you'll be able to see the information pulled from 2017, and you'll look and you'll see now based off of months. So showing you again the information that you see can again be manipulated and played with however you want it to be. Now, something additional that's nice over here, and a lot of people within our organization and a lot of our customers, like to do is a simple pivot. So now you can look at the information that you're seeing based on 2016 and 2017 and actually have a comparison here. And drill down, and again, you can actually then start seeing the information the way that you want to see it. Now, again, like I said, and I mentioned it again, I will mention it a few times just to make sure that everyone's clear on this. But what I'm showing you now is how to play with the data that you're pulling from your ERP. Again, we can do this on the inventory side, we can do this on the logistics side, as well as on the manufacturing side. So really showing you the full capabilities of the solution. As Olivia had mentioned in the beginning, we have a distribution model. So what the distribution model allows us to do is actually share this information. So for example, here I can create a distribution where I see this report and I see for some reason in month 4 over here, being April, I see that the ledger margin's down to 65%. What I can do is I can quickly say, just send comments. I can circle this over here. If that's a good circle, and you can simply email that to your sales manager from an executive point of view if you want to find out what was going on in that month. Something additional to that, and one of the key functions that we have within the distribution model, is the ability to set conditions. So when looking at a report right now, you'll see, for example, a condition as a lot of people use it maybe on the manufacturing, on the industry side, on the logistics side, where they want to have to actually order more stock. So they'll have a report that shows, for example, where you have, when your stock limits down to only 50 items left, we have to order more. So we set a KPI that allows you to have an indicator that when it drops below 50, please send an email to the foreman or the production manager to inform them to actually buy more stock. So again, making sure that the information you have from your ERP, we be able to gather that information and show it to you the way that you want to see it. Something else, and I'll show you how to set up a KPI from these reports, is over here. Let's say we want to look at your sales ledger margin and I want to create a KPI. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change, I'm going to go to column formatting and let's create a KPI together quickly to show you how simple and easy it is. So let's say I want to create a KPI for anything that's greater than 70%, and I want to make the background color in green. Try to find the sage green, there we go, and actually show that and then base that off with percentage salt. Let's say that I want to create another KPI, something that maybe is a little bit more negative, and I want to show something that's less than 70%. So this is what I base my margins on. Margins should always be at 70%. I create that, I put the background color in, let's say red, and do the same thing, base that off of the percentage side, and I say okay. I then apply this, and you'll now see that when you drill down and you actually see the months, you can quite quickly and easily see which months were doing bad, which months weren't. Again, you can set this up for your sales rep, you can set this up from a production point of view, from a financial point of view, however you want to see your data and show it. We can set this up. That really does show you the full functionality of that. And of course, like we said, you can then take this information, save it as is. So right now, I can simply save the changes I make to this report because I've manipulated it the way that I want to see it, and then show that information the way you want. And the next time you open the report, this is how it will be. Now, what I've done is I've opened it up a typical sales by customer. Again, there are hundreds of different reports out of the box that you can see. If I just get into a couple of the different financial reports that we can open up, but we won't have time today, so I just can go through them all. But just really showing you how far and advanced the software goes. So what we do is we collaborate very closely with Sage, and whenever customers actually have a requirement in terms of setting their report up that's based off the information, if we find that this isn't a completely customized report, and this is how people do want to see the data, people that use Sage 300, 500 or EM, we actually just offer that in our next out-of-the-box solutions, give that to you the way it is, to be able to better enable you to use the software from day one. So what I'm going to show you now is, while we're on this report, I did mention in the beginning that this sales manager dashboard that you're currently looking at has multiple different view types that all actually collaborate together and allow you to see the information the way you want to. So how simple and easy it is to create this is we have over 100 different view types that show the worksheet the way it is. Obviously, they're not all going to work. You can't put them all in a pie chart. Some of them will work better with a line chart. Some of them will work better with a bar graph. Something additional that we have is actually maps. So this works quite well when you have multiple sites. You can actually hover over and see the information the way that you want to. And again, the list goes on and on. I'm not going to have time to show you it all. But let's change this to a typical bar chart so I can just show you how easy it is to use the software and be able to see this. So now what you're looking at is exactly the same report with the same functionality, but this is in a dashboard form. This dashboard now, or this, view type now, can simply be taken and put into a dashboard, and then you can combine them all together to work together to give you a real holistic view of your data. You can also, within a dashboard, be able to have the ability to take information from multiple places. So you can have a financial, if you're a CEO that wants to see your financials, but you also want to see your sales figures, and you also want to see how the guys are doing on the production line. You can put all of that information together and have one kind of CEO dashboard that you call it, and be able to see the information the way that you want to. So let's create a dashboard together right here and show you a couple of the features as to how to create it. So over here, I'm going to create a dashboard, and I'm going to say new dashboard X XYZ. Let's say okay. And this will prompt me to where it is. Just before I get into creating the dashboard, I wanted to just say, please keep any questions in mind. We are going to have about 10 minutes afterwards for a Q&A session. So of course, just note it down so we don't get too disrupted and take questions throughout. We'll do it right at the end. So please, if you have anything, you can even put it in the chat box now if you would like, for us to be able to keep it on hand. So we're going to create a new dashboard, and you'll see over here, new dashboard XYZ that we're busy creating. It's actually pre-entered into the command center where all my out-of-the-box templates is. And it's so easy over here that all you need to do is simply just drag and drop. So I just dragged the information. I decided to drop my customer returns. Let's look at a forecast, and let's say I want to drop my forecast. Let's put that over here. Let's say I want to look at my sales and maybe see my, let's see, which one do I want to put in here? Let's see my monthly sales this year versus last year, as well as my sales quantity by month, for example. Now, this is right now, it simply is just drag and drop and the way the information is. But of course, you can manipulate this. So right now, I want to change this view type. I want to focus in a line chart and show you the information that way. You can then edit this dashboard, and you can simply add a couple of filtering panels exactly the same way we did. So let's say I want to add my year, my month, my customer. You would simply add that. You would say okay, and you would apply this information. This again, once with a little bit of resizing and restructuring, I've just simply drag drop and put a dashboard together. Then we just exit the edit mode, and you can see a couple of meaningful information that allows you to manipulate the data and change it the way it is. With a bit of resizing, you'll be able to see how simple and easy it is to put the information and measure it to this. Now, with the dashboards, we do have a lot that come out of the box across the board, across 500 EMS, H300, in terms of your financials, your CFOs, accounts receivables. But again, if you want to be able to customize that, I just did that in a couple of seconds, and it really is simple and easy. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to jump into I want to actually open up one report here on the UDM that shows you a financial report within a dashboard. So this is something new that we were able to do. We actually are able to add for example, a income statement, a full income statement. So when you open up the dashboard, your home screen, and as Olivia mentioned, you can actually embed this completely within your ERP. So you can show this information the way that you want, and you can simply go and you can expand this, and you can see a full income statement. Again, with the same filtering panel, based off of, like we said, this is demo data. So right now it's pulling from period 4 from 2017 and showing you this information, and you can then drill down and see the information the way that you want to see it. So with the different document number, and really drill down and getting an idea of where you are with the software. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually open up a financial report within a normal financial report over here. Just to show you a typical income statement. I think I should actually open up the UDM one, sorry. Let me close this. And let's open up this. So I'm going to open up a financial report. I'm going to show you briefly. You have the option to do financial reporting both within the web application and as well as within the Excel add-in. So we'll show you a little bit of both. Of course, this over here, you can add your company logo to the top. You can share this information. You can distribute it the way it is. And of course, your full functionality of able to do conditions and calculations, all of that fits in with your normal financial reports. So a lot of people, even though they have the ability to do financial reports within the web application, they prefer to do it within our Excel add-in. So I'm going to show you a little bit as to what that looks. So here I'm going to open up my Excel add-in and actually just show you this over here. We are completely redesigning the user interface for the new version, which will be available in the summer. Summer outside, I don't know. So we're looking at around June, July. I think July 1st is the date that we're going with, but that will be confirmed at a later date. So we are going to be completely redesigning it. And what's unique to our solution here is that We offer all of these again out of the box service preemptive, but we do still have the strong functionality of your Excel where you put in that information in real time and you're able to use that functionality that you have to the best of your ability with all of the data that's inside. Of course, you have the ability to do pivots, to do data extraction, to drill down and see the information a little bit more and a little bit more in depth. So looking at this, we have your typical income statement, trial balance sheet, and of course your financial analysis. It's all very dynamic, so you can simply chop and change and say, I want to see this for period 7, and you'll see it changes the information. It doesn't only just change this information that you're looking at, it changed all the different tabs, your income statement, your trial balance, across the board, as well as your balance sheets. So another thing that's quite nice to do over here is this information, now you've seen it in Excel, you want to actually get a little bit more of an understanding as to what it is. So let's say I want to go formula drill down on this number of 2.9 million here. You can drill down on specific fields if you just want to see document numbers as well as posting, for example. But let's drill down on all just for the sake of this presentation. Right now, what this has done is this has loaded all of the information, all the different ledger codes, descriptions, your chart of accounts, as well as your document number right down to the posting. So you'll actually see your document number here. To be able to see the full functionality right down to the posting number. So when you look all the way across here, you will see the information right down to the actual transitional numbers, your credits, your global debit, etc. across the board. So all of the information that takes you down to that 2.9 million. So really giving you a full in-depth understanding. And like I said, of course, you can just drill down on your specific fields that you would, if that's what you would want to do. Looking at, I'm going to jump back, like I said, I just wanted to show you a little bit briefly in terms of the Excel add-in and what it can do. And like we said, we do have the full capability to do pivots, the data extraction, etc. But I'm not going to have time to show you that all today. Looking at the solution right now that you see over here, let's open up back to a Sales Manager dashboard. And you can see the functionality the way it is. Now, Olivia did mention that we have 3 different interfaces. So we also have the mobile side. This is available through just your normal web browser, or additionally, you can actually download the SCI application through the App Store or the Google Play Store that allows you to use the functionality across the board. This is always key. And what's nice to note is if I were to quickly put my simulator on here, let's change this. There we go. So right now we're going to be switching to iPad mode, and you'll see that the information still changes the same. If we were to switch this to an iPhone, for example, it will then switch to scrolling mode because you're not going to be able to fit all of this information directly within the same screen that you want to see. What I'm going to do now is, as Olivia mentioned, we are releasing a new version. So I'm not going to touch too much on the web application, so the mobile application, because like I said, it's exactly the same functionality across the board. You have the ability to create, edit, and share these reports all through your iPad, your iPhone, your Android device, whatever the case may be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to jump to what's going to be available in the very near future. So we have created what's going to be called as SCI version 9. Our team's been working very hard in the R&D center, and a couple of the features, and I will mention this again, even though Olivia has mentioned it already, is the user interface has been completely redesigned. So you're going to see a slightly different version as to what you would see here. Let me switch this back. Let me try to open this without the simulator. There we go. So what you see over here is a completely redesigned user interface. It will still, of course, still the same functionality that you're used to seeing across the board. So again, the key feature over here is we actually have done a new data sync, which is our full ETL plus. So we do have a function right now to do this on the back end through our OLAP manager, but we've actually created a full application called Data Sync that does the full data management side and ETL, assisting a lot with your migration and storing of historical data. And again, we actually like to call it ETL plus is the new word that we're going for. Additionally to that, the version now is currently available in the Sage Cloud, the Sage EM Cloud. we will have our own cloud with version 9 available across the board. And this is also a hybrid cloud, so you can have an on-premise solution and connect directly and live to the SEI cloud in terms of when retrieving the data, and vice versa. So you could actually have a cloud solution and SEI be on-premise and we can connect. So again, just a hybrid cloud form. As mentioned, we will be completely redesigning the Excel user interface. And what's key to know with the new version is that we're going to be giving over 180 new KPIs. So in terms of the universal data model, we've actually found a way that we, rather than having, because we're available currently in 10 different stage product lines, so we would have specific dashboards per product line. What we've done is we've actually created specific dashboards on our side that can connect to multiple different ones. So the way that we transform the data allows us to have one standard form rather than replicating it 10 different times for 10 different product lines. So this, of course, gives, how this benefits you is that you'll now have access across the board in terms of all the information that we have and all the different ways of retrieving and showing data. You as a customer will be able to use that the way you can. And like we said, with over 180 different KPIs that come out of the box ready for you to use. And again, just showing you how the new user interface looks. Again, it's all still the same thing, same functionality across the board, but just really showing you the software the way it is. So quite a big upgrade over there. So our team's done a very good job. As mentioned, we do have something that I can't show you too much because it's still in our R&D center, but this is how it will look. So this is what we call in our ETL, which is our new data sync model, so full data management side of things in terms of where we're taking the software and where it's going. So you'll be able to create the simple connections, your extractions, and actually transform that data the way that you want to see it. So really showing you again the way the software is going, where it's been, and what's key for you as a customer of a potential customer of the software is knowing that if you were to purchase the software now, in terms of an upgrade process, it is an upgrade process. It is not a reinstall, full re-implementation. It's simply just an upgrade process to go to the newest solution. Takes you a couple of minutes, half an hour maybe at max. And all your custom reports, all your custom dashboards that you've created and the way that you use the data will be still fully available to you. On that note, now that I've showed the data sync as well as the universal data model on version 9, I think we are ready to jump to questions. So I might hand over to Jeff and Olivia, and we can get going with a couple of questions.
Great, thanks Gareth and Olivia. And I did get some questions coming through, so like Gareth said, if you have more questions, please type them into the chat or the Q&A window and we can get to those. Let's jump right in here. Let me scroll through here, back up. Does Sage Enterprise Intelligence have standard income statement and balance sheet reporting?
Yes, it does. So in terms of how it is, we have that both available within the Excel. I don't know if maybe this question came through before I showed it, but for example, we have a standard balance sheet here, as well as, like I said, on the Excel side, so I'm just busy opening that up. Of course, let's just apply this and confirm. As well as on the Excel, we have a simple, typical balance sheet that comes out of the box. So yes, it does. And again, that's available with all three product lines. So I don't know where that question came from, whether they want 500, 300, or EM. That is standard across the board.
Great. And I know this varies widely, but I've got 3 or 4 questions around just the pricing model. Are you able to talk about how the pricing works and licensing and those things? I know it varies greatly based on the scope of the project, but if you could give some, lay the groundwork for how the pricing works, I think that'd be good for the audience.
Yeah, for sure, Josh. So I could take that question. The way that the pricing works, first of all, we have both options. We have the subscription option as well as the perpetual, so one-time fee plus annual maintenance. The way that it works, SEI is priced by different levels. It's starting with the server. So essentially what the server includes is all of the out-of-the-box templates and data cubes. So they're different across the ERPs, of course. And it also includes one full SEI user. So I'll cover off the users right away. A full user is more of an admin or a power user, somebody who's going to go into the software and do some of the things that Gareth has just done, including change around reports, save changes, create new reports, the full functionality, the full-blown functionality of the software, as well as, setting up security, setting up other data sources, so on and so forth. The full user works across the web and the Excel, and of course you can access the web interface from any mobile device. The second type of user that we have, I'll just mention it right away, is interesting. It's the viewer license. So essentially anything that's been created can be accessed by a viewer. A viewer still has some of the end user functionality available to them. So the ability to drill down, do some filtering, change things around, but they're limited in the sense that they're not able to save changes or create new reports and save them. So again, really view only, and that works across the Excel, the web, and the mobile. All SEI users are concurrent, so they're not named users, which is important to note. Getting back to the server component, so we talked about the server. You also have the option of adding an extension pack 1. Extension pack 1 includes access to 2 additional data sources, so you can bring in 2 additional sources in addition to your Sage ERP. So for example, a legacy system or a CRM system, you can bring in those 2 additional sources and analyze and report off the data. It also includes the distribution module, which allows you to schedule reports to be sent out to any number of users inside or outside of the organization. Those users don't have to be licensed users of the software. So they're receiving static reports based on security. They're not really going in and slicing and dicing or anything like that. So again, they don't have to be users, which allows you to share information to a number of people at a lower cost, of course. Extension Pack 1, the last thing that it includes is multi-installation, so the ability to install SEI on multiple different environments. For example, if you want to be running a test environment as well as a production environment, you can do so with one SEI license with Extension Pack 1. Extension Pack 2 is the full-blown enterprise version of the software. It includes access to unlimited data sources, as well as the ability to utilize the full OLAP manager, which means you can create new data warehouses and or cubes. So if you have, for example, a legacy system that has tons and tons of data, you want to build a cube on the inventory side of your legacy system, it's something that's not delivered out of the box, you would need Extension Pack 2 in order to do so. So again, it's server, Extension Pack 1, Extension Pack 2, full users and viewers. In terms of the pricing information, we start at a pretty good starting point. It's talking about perpetual. We start at $2,000 US plus maintenance. But for more information, you can definitely reach out to your Sage business partner. You can reach out to me as well. We'll be happy to provide you with more information. I'll just touch on one more thing, Jeff. Sorry, I know I'm taking over with this question here, but there's a couple of different components to it. It's also the implementation. So the implementation of the software, again, is quite quick. It's about half a day to actually install the software on your environment, and the training on the software varies. So it can be anywhere from 1 to 3 days, depending on how in-depth you want to go. 1 day is the end user training. So again, everything that Gareth has just done in the presentation, you'll be able to do after 1 day of end user training, including build reports in the Excel add-in. There's the full admin training, which consists of 2 days. However, again, this really varies on a customer-by-customer basis. There might be things that you're not needing to do within the solution. For example, build a new data cube. Of course, if that's not something you're looking to achieve, you're not going to need the training on it. So just keep that in mind, that there's 2 components, the software as well as the implementation.
Great, thanks, Olivia, and that was good because there was a few questions on training as well, so I think I'll skip those. And questions are still coming in. Oops, just moved my window down. Gareth, I got a couple questions. Can you show, again, how you export or get the data to Excel? A couple questions around that, wanting to see that again.
In terms of getting it to Excel, so there's a way to export to Excel. Let me open up here. Let's open up a quick report again. So you can actually export a current report to Excel, But there's also ways so that we read the information directly from the ERP. So that's two different components. So I don't know if they're asking whether how we read the information or if they want to see that you can simply Excel. So these reports can be distributed and shared and exported via PDF, via just a normal Word document, however you want to do it. And you would simply just export this and say, okay, I want this to be in a Excel, and I would say, okay. Then from there, you would simply be able to download the link and see the information and pull that. When it opens, my Excel is a little bit slow here. Let's redo that. Sorry about that. Let's export PDF. So, okay, and download that link. So you can simply just download, like I said, I don't know if I need to open and close my Excel, see if it works, to be able to see that information. Of course, it's going to do this. Sorry about that.
I think we're all just happy our desktop doesn't look like yours, Gareth.
I mean, I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to fix it at some point. I'm going to fix it at some point. Anyway, sorry, my Excel's just, I needed to reopen and close my Excel, but you get the picture that you can just simply download and export to be able to do it. I don't want to sit and reopen and close my Excel right now, but that information would just show from a Excel point of view then.
Great. Let's see, we've got a lot more coming in here. So is SEI able to retrieve pricing and cost and margin information for a specific single customer one at a time?
Yeah, exactly. So as long as that information is within your ERP, we can do it. So we can actually see that information. We can then create a filter where you want to only drill down on that customer, and you can then see that information based on only that customer. So the answer is yes. Something additional we can do, which I don't know if the customer is based on the EM side or the Sage 300, but on the Sage EM side, we're actually able to completely embed the software within the product line item. So actually, once you're in a product, in terms of Sage EM, you can actually see the information and do all of your analytics and data and reporting just based off of that one customer and have a type of report or dashboard specific to that customer. So a very key feature there.
That'll soon be available for Sage 300 as well.
Excellent. So this customer is on SEI version 7, and they're saying that sometimes the web version is slow to generate reports, so they primarily use the SEI add-in for Excel. The question is, are there any changes in the newest versions that will make the report generation faster, and they're a very high volume business?
Yes, so they're on version 7. In version 8, we fully removed Silverlight. So the software is fully HTML5 on the web. You'll definitely experience better performance. That's one of the reasons to upgrade, but there are a few others as well, including some new features and functionality, the universal data models. We also have the reporting feature on the web, which wasn't available in version 7. So the ability to run financial reports on the web interface in terms of balance sheet, income statement, so on and so forth. But if you're having trouble with performance, you want us to take a look or your partner to take a look, just let us know. But again, definitely the new version will make a difference.
Great, thanks, Olivia. Let's see. Does the drill down capability or functionality include opening the data entry screen for Sage 300 or EM where the transaction was originally entered?
Yes, so we actually have the link to option, which is great. So for example, here on my screen, I believe I'm still sharing my screen, we can actually drill down. I don't currently have the functionality because I'm not connected to the EM side of things, so I'm actually just retrieving demo data. But if you simply click on this here, you can actually link to. So you would be able to create a link to, and then you would have your application link. So this can take you directly to the document and see where the data entry was on the ERP side, which is great. And that was something that we did release in version 8.2. So that is a new feature of ours, and again, a very key feature to be able to see and actually link directly to where the information came from.
Excellent. And I have gotten just a few requests for the slides and the recording, just to let everyone know, remind you, I will be sending out an email most likely on Monday that'll have a link to view the on-demand recording, as well as a link to download the slides from today as well. Let's see. Can SEI be configured to include overhead applied in addition to the cost for each project?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So go ahead, Olivia.
Oh, no, sorry about that. I was just going to say, as long as it's stored, that information is stored somewhere that we can have access to it, we can definitely pull that in, and you can definitely run reports. I'm assuming now it's for Sage 300, but we have some reports on the project job cost module that you might be interested in, but definitely possible to do that.
Great. The next one is, can you create cost center income statements?
Yes. Yeah, you could do that on the web, but there's a really cool feature on the Excel add-in that allows you to actually create multiple, it'll generate actually multiple different, income statements based on like a dimension. So for example, if it's cost centers, if you create one income statement in the Excel add-in, you can replicate it for each one of your cost centers, and it's super, super quick. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. You can also do it on the web, but again, definitely something that's possible.
Great. Let's see here. Is there a way we can make some selections in various Excel reports generated every month end? Not sure if that makes sense. Is there a way we can make some selections and various Excel reports are generated every month end? I'm guessing they're asking, are reports able to be generated, certain reports in Excel every month end?
Yeah, so that would just be using the distribution module if you want them to be sent out, even if you want a link to be sent out, you want it to be saved to the network automatically at every month end, that would be with the distribution module.
And she means for month-end reposting, or for month-end reposting.
For reposting?
That clarifies anything.
Again, I think it would just be through the distribution module. You would just set up a distribution job that either saves it to the network, sends it out automatically by email based on the schedule of your choice.
Great. Let's see. Can SEI be configured? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if we didn't answer that question correctly, can they just drop us a separate email afterwards to make sure that we covered that properly?
Perfect. Good point. Let's see. The next one is, can we configure SEI to show sales and cost by project?
Yes.
Simple answer, yes.
That's an easy
Again,
one.
Just keeping in mind that if the data is somewhere, we can get access to it, and you can sort it however which way you want to see it, and it's very, very easy to do.
More of a general question, what type of manufacturing reports are available?
Again, it would differ between the ERPs. So if we're talking about Sage 300 or EM, I'm not sure, but Gareth can open something up.
Yeah, so we have your typical, like your work orders, your different production reports, so trying to see the different worksheets. I'm going to open up, for example, a work order list and see if this has information in it. And you're able to see, again, this is just based on standards. You can completely add and change everything the way it is, but right now you're basing it off of your order number, the different start and end dates in terms of when the job was, stock unit, quantity plan, total, what's rejected, and the actual and what's remaining. So showing you all that information. Again, you have a list of dimensions and measures that allows you to chop and change. So if you want to see your site code rather than your status code, you want to see basically off of year, month, date, start time, whatever it may be, you can simply add that information in. So again, this does differ on the Sage 300 and Sage EM side, but we do have quite a few out of the box over here that shows you how much the software does in the manufacturing side. But as long as that information is within the ERP, we can show it to you the way you want to see it.
Great. Let's see. How does SEI deal with financial statement consolidation?
In terms of being able to consolidate information, and it depends, I guess we're talking about Sage 300 at this point, but we actually have a consolidation model out of the box So our template will allow you to automatically consolidate. Let's say you have multiple companies in Sage 300, multiple databases. It'll allow you to automatically consolidate them and select which environment you want to access. So Gareth, I don't know if you have something that you can just switch if you have the consolidated Sage 300 and the SAM LTD, SAM Inc. or what have you.
I don't know if it's set up. I didn't check that one beforehand, so I'd rather not open it. But yeah, we can just quite simply easily switch between multiple environments, multiple different consolidated reports. So we do have the consolidator for that. I don't know if my demo environment's set up. So like I said, I'm rather not going to try and show it because I didn't prep that environment.
Something that SEI is fully equipped to handle and delivers pretty much right from the get-go. So we know that it's a requirement amongst many customers that have the multiple different companies, multiple different databases. So we made that option available as well.
Okay, and a few more just came in. Can you import data from DBase?
From DBase?
Yes.
I haven't heard of that one, but if you want to send us an email, Jeff, I don't know if you'll be sending us a list of questions afterwards.
Yeah, I'll send them over so you guys will have it for sure.
Yeah, I haven't heard about DBase either yet. That hasn't come up before, so we'll have to see what's behind it and if there's a way to retrieve it. So we'll get back to you on that one.